Hi. Last class we discussed about the layer. So I think you all watched the last video. So today we basically will do about the selection tool, and the selection tool here the rectangle selection tool, elliptical Marquee tool, and single row and single column Marquee tool. So this column, these all are the four are the selection tool. So in last class we did about discussed about that move tool, the use of move tool for moving the object, and we discussed about the layer. Whatever we will do in Photoshop, we will do by using a new layer. For creating new layer, shortcut control shift n, or you can click here is the add new layer option. If you click here, automatically a new layer will create. If I click here, so automatically layer 1 will come. So for deleting, you can select and right click and delete the layer, or you can select and delete by pressing your delete key from your keyboard. So today we will see about that tool, about that four tools. These four tools are using for selection, for by using making shape various shape, creating various shape, or you can use these tools for uh, cutting your object. But remember, these are the square type tool, rectangle type tool. So whatever things you will cut, that will come on square thing. And this is the round elliptical Marquee tool. So whatever things you will cut, that will come on round shape. So this is a rectangle, and this is a elliptical Marquee tool, and this is a single row and single column tool. So let's start about that rectangle Marquee tool. The shortcut about that rectangle Marquee tool is M. So if we are in the move tool, the shortcut of the move tool is the V. So if we are in move tool, if we want to go in Marquee tool, so either you click on here, or if you are in move tool and if you press M in your keyboard, then you are directly will come into your rectangle Marquee tool. So in rectangle Marquee tool, there is some options available. One by one we will discuss about that rectangle Marquee tool and elliptical Marquee tool. So first we select that rectangle Marquee tool. So before creating any shape, now this is the our background. So before starting, we have to create a new layer. Otherwise, if we create the thing in this layer, so after creating the shape, if we want to move this uh, the object or the shape, we can't move it. So if we move this, our background will also move. So the thing is, whenever you creating any shape or you are doing any work in Photoshop, so it's better you will create a new layer. So I will create a new layer by clicking this area, add a new layer option. Now this are the blank layer, so blank area. So in this area, if I select the rectangle Marquee tool and I drag a shape, so it will come. So it means my these areas the active area and the outside area the inactive area. So if we want to fill a color inside these active area, so that this is the color palette, it's called color palette. So these are the foreground color and this is the background color. So if I want to fill foreground color, so here black is my foreground, white is my background color. So now if I want to fill with black color and black is my foreground color, so you press alt backspace in your keyboard so that the foreground color will fill. Now if you want to change the color, you just click on your foreground color palette and you can change here. If I want green, select the green and alt backspace, so automatically it will fill. Now I want to fill here background color, so my background color is white, so I change the color white. So for changing, I just click here, so that background color box will open and here I change it to red color and OK. And if I press control backspace, it will fill with background color. So if I want to fill with foreground color, we will press alt and backspace, and if we want to fill with background color, we will fill with press control and backspace. So if we want to make a default, the default is black and white, so D for default, the shortcut is the D. So if you press D, it will come on default. So as you wish, if you want to fill with black, white, gray, green, which kind of color, you just select the color and fill the color. Now it's sky color, it's in foreground, so I press alt and backspace, and now see these area are now active, it's in selection mode. So first we have to deselect that area, then we have to do the next work. So for that we press control plus D. If you press control and D, control D, so these area will be deselect. So for the deselect, shortcut is control D. So now I want to move it. For that we have to select the move tool, or we can press V for move tool, and then we can move the object. So this is the basically the shape by using our rectangle marquee tool. So now if I want to delete this thing, so select and I easily delete it. So now select the rectangle tool. Now if I am selecting without pressing any key in our keyboard, so it will come like this shape. I can make any kind of shape like this or like this or like this. Now control D for deselection, I deselect this thing. Now if I press shift and then we create a shape, so it will come a proper square shape, a proper square shape. See, I am doing it by pressing my shift key, and if I am doing this, it will come proper a rectangle shape. But if I am doing without pressing shift key, it will come like this kind of shape. So if you want a proper square shape, then you press shift and you create a shape. Or if you want any kind of shape, so then without pressing shift or any key, just drag with your mouse, it will come on this kind of shape. Now control D for deselection. Now I create a new layer. Now here four options are available. So now this option is selected. So this is a new selection. So see, I selected this area. Control D for deselection. This is called add to selection. If I want two or three or more object here, rectangle, for that we need to add selection. For that what we will do, we just click on add to selection, and after that we will create shape. This is my first shape, this is second shape, this is third shape. Like multiple shape we can do by using add to selection. Now I did all the shape in one layer. So whenever I will fill the color, now as example I fill with a red color. So whenever I will fill the color, now my foreground color is red, so alt backspace. So at a time this color will fill with in our all object, because I created all the object in one layer. Now this option is the subtract. So as example, select the rectangle tool, and first I create 1 2 3 and 4 shape. Now I select the subtract. This is a subtract from selection. So this is the add, this is a subtract. So if I select the subtract option and I will drag this thing, so this area will be subtract. Now I want to delete this area. So what we have to do, just drag the mouse like this without pressing any key, just drag the mouse. Now I need half of the area, so just drag it. Now I don't need this one, just drag it. So automatically this area will be deleted. So same thing, if we want to fill the color, create a new layer and then alt backspace. So if you need, you can do this type of thing. Select and delete. Now the next thing is the intersect with selection. Like I select the add to selection option and I'm creating 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 4 selection I did. I create a new layer and I select that intersect option. Now I select the intersect option, and if I drag it like this, now that all the areas will be deleting. Control D deselection. Again I am showing this. Select the add to selection and I did 1 2 3 4 5 object. Now I select the intersect. Now if I drag this thing, now see, if I left my mouse, these areas will be deleted. So these things are the new selection for creating a new object or new selection. These are the for creating 2 3 multiple selection. It's for deleting the selection, and this for intersect the selection. So here control D now I'm doing. Now here some shortcuts are there. Now create a select the rectangle Marquee tool, and now if I want to here see, if I want to do multiple, so we have to select this thing, add to selection. So it's better if I create one shape, and after that if I press shift, see, if I press shift, automatically this is switching to add to selection. See, now I am pressing shift, automatically it's switching on the add on selection mode. Now by pressing shift in my keyboard, I creating multiple kind of selection. So control D, now deselected. So now we can do by using this one. First we have to select and then we create, or by pressing shift we can do. The shortcut of add to selection is shift. Now I created multiple object here, multiple. Now I want to subtract it. So the first thing is, if we want, we can select it and then subtract, what I already showed. Otherwise, by pressing alt in your keyboard, by pressing alt you can drag your mouse so that same thing, that area will be deleted. So this thing you can do by using alt key or by pressing here. The shortcut of this is alt. So add to selection, shortcut is shift, subtract, shortcut is alt. Now I want intersect. So for that, again I did multiple object, and now if I select it, or by pressing shift and alt, by pressing shift and alt, the shortcut of intersect is shift and alt. So by pressing shift alt, if I am dragging this area will be deleted. So same thing, shift alt and this thing shift plus alt, control D for deselection. Now here, now I am going to elliptical marquee tool. So if I select the elliptical marquee tool, so by selecting this, if I press shift, it will come exactly on the round shape. By pressing shift, now if you want to fill with color, you can fill any color. Now I'm changing the color to blue. Now alt backspace, so, and then these areas selected, so we have to deselect it. For deselecting, shortcut control D, and then we can move our object. So if you need a perfect rectangle, square, perfect elliptical round shape, then by pressing shift we can make a perfect round shape. Or if you need any oval shape, oval kind of shape, then you delete and create a new layer, and by pressing any key, just drag your mouse, so it will come on any oval kind of shape. Any kind of shape you can make it, like this kind of shape or this kind of shape, you can easily make it. Alt backspace, fill with color. So if you want perfect round shape, then press shift and do. Otherwise you need, if this kind of oval kind of shape, then without pressing any key, you just drag your mouse, so just delete it. Then again here same options are available, which we already did in rectangle shape. So see, now is a new selection, this is the add selection, this is the subtract selection, this is the intersect selection. Now if I want 2 or 3 round shape, then select it and we can do multiple kind of shape. Now if you need to subtract, then select that subtract, and then we subtract that area so that it will subtract. So multiple kind of things subtract we can do also by using subtract. Now these things are the intersect. Select the intersect, and if I will create this shape, so this area will be gone. So same thing like rectangle tool, this is the elliptical marquee tool, but that options will be the same. Create a new layer. If I want to create a new selection, then just drag it. If you need proper round, shift press and drag. If you need multiple, then press shift and just do these multiple kind of things. Now see what I did. I shift press, I did one shape, and I want to make one more shape. I want to add one shape. Now see, if I will create like this thing, it automatically create one shape. So same thing, shift press, but whenever I overlap it, it will create one shape. So we can do it by using shift for multiple. If we want to subtract it, press alt and subtract. If we want intersect, then shift alt, both shift and alt press, and then you will do intersect. So here are the options. Same options available in a rectangle marquee tool, and same option available in elliptical marquee tool. Now down two options are there, but basically we will use in Photoshop, we will use in these two tool. These two tools, single row and single column, is not very useful tool, but see what is the tool is a single row marquee tool. What we can do for underline purpose, you can use it. Single row marquee tool, select the single row marquee tool and just drag it. So if you zoom it, you can understand one selection will be there, and then same thing you can fill the color by pressing alt and backspace. If you fill alt and backspace, the blue color will fill on that area, and control D deselection, you can see. If you zoom it, you can see one thin line will come here. So this is basically we can do for using any underline purpose, but same thing we can do by using our rectangle marquee tool also. How, as example, create a new layer and rectangle, select the rectangle marquee tool, and if I create it very thin way like this kind of thing, and then alt and backspace, control D for deselection these things. So you can see it, same thing we can do it by using also that rectangle marquee tool. So again, select and I delete these things, select and delete these things, and the down tool is the single column marquee tool. So if I select, add a new layer, and then single column marquee tool I select, and then if I'll do it, so you can see same thing. If you zoom it, you can see one selection is there. Now if I want to fill with color, alt backspace, I fill with color, and control D for deselection, and then you can zoom it and you can see one line, thin line came, this column. And same thing even we can do using by rectangle marquee tool. Select the rectangle marquee tool, and if you will create a very thin line like this, and alt backspace and control D for deselection. Now you can see almost same thing we can do by using a rectangle marquee tool. So select and delete, select and delete. And one more thing here, go for rectangle marquee tool, and here one option is there. This is the style. In style, this is the normal thing, and in the style option there is two more option is there. One is fixed ratio, one is fixed size. So basically we will not use fixed ratio or fixed size. So if we will use it fixed ratio, what will happen? See as example, if it is in normal mode, and then we can create a new layer. And a new layer, if we will create a shape, we can create a shape as per our own size. But if I change it here normal to fixed ratio, so then here is some option: width 1, height 2. So here, as per your choice, you can change the width and height. As example, now I change the width to 2 and height to 1. So what will happen? So if I will create a shape, so see, after that it will not coming. Actually the height is 1, so if I am dragging it down, it is not coming. So it's actually the last size is 2, width is 2 and height is 1. So it will not come, it will actually fixed. So actually this is called as a fixed ratio. If you want to create with your own size, like 2 or 1 or 3, then you can put your size and then you can drag it so that it will come on exact on this size, with 2 or height 1 or whatever you will write. Control D selection style, I change the style for fixed size. If you change a fixed size, it will come on pixel, px, width 64, height 64. So if you drag it, it will come, but it will come on very small, like 1 pixel it will come. See, if I drag, if you do it, it will come on single pixel. So basically we will not use this kind of thing in Photoshop. So it's better you can go for the normal, and whatever you will do it in normal mode. So if you go for an elliptical Marquee tool, same options are available. Fixed ratio, even here same thing, you can change it with height. And height, if I change it to 2, and then if I'll create, see, same thing happening, it is not dragging actually. So it in fixed ratio mode. Now same thing, control D deselection, if you will go for fixed size, it will come on round pixel. So same thing, don't use these things, it's better you can go for a normal thing. So, and there's some options is there, that is a feather option. So today we not discuss about the feather, and next classes we will discuss about that feather option. And select and mask, one option is there. So we will organize one special class for that select and mask, because it's very good thing. Select and mask, in previous Photoshop version, these select and mask was not there. The refine edge option is there. Actually the name they changed in CC, they keep here in select and mask. So I hope you all understand my this class. You hope you enjoy the class. So please like and subscribe my channel, and we will see you on next class. So thank you.